One of the fun things about doing all this is that you set up at night and then you forget / you never really saw what the environment outside looks like. And you wake up in the morning and you go, oh yeah, that's where I am. Here's where I set up. This is the corner of this truck stop. And then if you just look out this way, you can just barely see my tent hooking up. It's actually pretty well hidden just among the grass, but also these bushes here. I mean, if you're, even those trucks right there can't really see. I mean, once I'm over there standing up, it'll be a little more obvious, but I think that's a pretty good spot. Screwed down all the way. Still pretty hot. Well, anyway, as comfortable as I am here right now, I think I ought to get moving. From here, I am trying to catch a ride to San Antonio. I think what I'm going to do, honestly, is just hitchhike on the on-ramp, because while I could probably get a ride from a trucker around here, this is a pretty busy truck stop. I think I want to take my time a little bit. I really don't like staying in cities, and that whole last week was kind of, pretty uncomfortable. So I would like to take my time getting from here to wherever I'm going next, probably San Antonio. Possibly I can get from here straight to Austin. But we'll see. I think it's not quite an easy straight path. But yeah, hopefully I can stay out in the country a little more and stay a little more comfortable. Alright, kind of a weird little spot here. It's at the edge of a curve. And the shoulder here is a little odd. Seems like, based on the traffic, there's not that many people going from here to San Antonio, but we'll see. There's been a couple people passing already. It's not like it's completely dead or anything. I got a very short ride, very quickly, so I'm just out here again. Okay, ride number 2 of the day happened immediately after I filmed the last clip. So, time to try and tie our record again and maybe even beat it. This is Columbus or Columbia or something like that. And we're getting closer bit by bit, getting closer to San Antonio. So let's see how close we can get today. And things have slowed down significantly. I think it's because of this Walmart and HEB over there. It means that there's a lot of through traffic, or not a lot of through traffic, a lot of local traffic. Although there should also be through traffic, because there's this Shell and Exxon, there's McDonald's over there, there's, Jack in the Box, Burger King. So it's the sort of place people should be stopping off the highway, and then I should be able to catch them coming back on, but it has not worked out that way so far. So I might get something to eat and then try some more, or I might do something else. We'll see. Kind of an interesting little spot back here. like could be a good place to camp out. There is something going on over there. It looks like somebody else camped out. But I'm just gonna give them some space. I kind of wish I could get over to the other side, because this is still a little exposed. And also, I mean, there's this barbed wire fence, right? And this is, so going in here is actually illegal. It'd just be a little easier if I could go to the other side and not get caught. It's this big dead tree. I think I might drop my stuff somewhere over here and then just kind of walk around for a little bit. I got like an hour, and probably a little more than an hour until the sun goes down, so I might just kind of explore the area a little bit for now. Alright, well, I just did a 30-minute thorough exploration of these woods. That is going to be on Patreon if you'd like to see that. That is only $5 a month to see exclusive videos like those. I went all the way over there to cross the stream and over that way and stuff, and now I have set up camp right here, pretty close to the entrance, but hopefully far enough away that nobody can see or hear me. Unexpectedly, I was woken up today by being too hot, even though it's supposed to freeze, I think tomorrow, or maybe even tonight. For some reason right now, it is so warm that it actually woke me up. So at that point I got up and walked over to the McDonald's to charge my phone, and when I got outside I realized the temperature had started to drop. Oh yeah, it's starting to get cold. I just gotta film a couple more things for this last video, and then I can upload that. And then I gotta like think about what I'm doing tonight. I'm wondering if I can squeeze back here. There's some woods back here. Yeah, maybe. I'll have to take my backpack off and put it through separately because this is a little narrow. But this could work. Well, I can fit through there, but my backpack cannot. So I might try and do something with that later. But for right now, I am freezing my ass off, so I'm gonna go back into the McDonald's. I had surrendered to the bitter cold and retreated into the safe warmness of the McDonald's. But while I was in there, things took a good turn. Good news. So I was sitting down at the McDonald's over there, just trying to kill as much time as possible so I don't have to be out in the cold. And a lady struck up a conversation with me. She was very concerned. Understandably, it's pretty grim out there right now. And she ended up paying for a hotel room. So now I'm in a hotel room. That's what the back of my head looks like. I don't know why I showed you that. Now I'm in America's Best Value Inn, and I'm going to spend the night here. It is not necessarily a lifesaver like it might seem, because it's going to stay cold for the next couple nights. It's supposed to be below freezing all day tomorrow, and then it's going to dip below freezing at night for the next 3 days. So, but getting one night in a hotel room is awesome. And honestly, the thing I'm more excited about is taking a shower, because that is something that I've not been able to do for quite some time. Well, supposedly got down to like 15 degrees last night. It's only going to get down to 20 tonight, which is, you know, still very, very cold. So, spent all day pretty much at the Burger King. I am get across the road here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and try and set up in those woods that I was at 2 nights ago. And we're going to see how this goes. I guess my emergency backup plan is to leave all that stuff. And then I believe one of these places, it was either the Whataburger or the Burger King, were 24 hours. So, I mean, if shit just gets way too cold and I can't stand it and my sleeping bag is not doing well enough, I will bail and go back over there. You know, it's what, December 23rd today? Something like that. So I think, you know, it's basically going to be this cold or colder all the way until probably, like, I don't know, March or April. And I'm heading over into Mexico, Arizona after this. I don't know if it's going to be much warmer over there. Part of me just wants to go back to Florida or something. If I can make it all the way over to like Los Angeles sort of area, I think that tends to be a little warmer even in the winter, but it's still not going to be warm. You know, it'll probably be more like 30s instead of, you know, teens. I'm just hoping my sleeping bag is 10-degree rating is accurate. As long as I can, you know, it feels like if there's no wind and you have good insulation, it could be fine. But I'm definitely a little nervous about whether my gear is going to be good enough. Alright, here's my setup. So I've got my main tent, which you know, this rain cover doesn't really do much for insulation, but at least it keeps the wind out, so any gusts of wind get broken up by that. And inside I have my mummy bag, supposedly good for 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really good. I have this little blanket, which is just like a little throw blanket. It's not even big enough to cover my whole body, but I'll make use of that somehow. And then I have a tarp, which I'm going to attempt to set up on top of me inside of this tent, just to give another extra pocket of air to provide some insulation. And then I'm, you know, wearing coat and gloves, and hopefully that's going to be enough to survive the night. Alright, a little update on the sleeping situation. I have to use my front-facing camera for this because it's the only way I can have the light on, so probably I'm not going to have my face in frame properly, but I'm doing alright. It's like 8:30, so it's still going to get colder tonight, but I think it was like, I don't know, 30 degrees when I came down here. It's supposed to get down to like 20 tonight. I was pretty cold when I first got into the sleeping bag. It took a while to warm up. This tarp, I think, is helping. It's definitely helping keep the cold air out of the sleeping bag, which is nice. And, you know, just your body heat and your breath kind of warm the space up. If I tuck my head into the sleeping bag, it's even better. I think I'm going to be all right tonight. It's pretty crazy. I honestly was not sure that I was going to be all right, but I think I'm all right. Congratulations. Achievement unlocked. You survived a below freezing night. Actually, it wasn't even that bad. I feel like I'd probably be safe for another couple of degrees below that even. I ended up being pretty warm. The main issue is just like the face hole for my mummy sleeping bag was cold, so I had to try and tuck my chin in and make sure my face wasn't freezing cold at night, which was annoying, but made it. So the truth is, I think with this being Christmas Eve, I don't think many people are going to stop to pick me up. not because they're not generous, but because they're not traveling right now. Everybody's probably already, you know, with their family where they're going to be. Any travel, drop my thing, any travel they're doing is going to be, you know, local. I might get some sort of a bite, but not terribly optimistic. Yeah, I think that might just be it. One Christmas day later. Alright, update time. I don't think I filmed anything yesterday. Yesterday was Christmas. So yeah, I mean yesterday I knew I wasn't going to get a ride, so I didn't even try. I just stayed in the woods where I was at. I actually cleaned up the woods, picked up all the trash. I bought a couple of trash bags, mainly just so that I could cover my backpack when it starts to rain. But I also used those to pick up some trash yesterday. Figured I might as well do a good deed for the forest while I'm out there. And charged my phone at the gas station a little bit. Went back. That's pretty much it. You didn't miss anything. So now I'm gonna go try and hitchhike until 4 o'clock. If I don't get anything by 4 o'clock, I'm gonna start walking. There's a place not too far from here. There's a rest stop, highway rest stop, so I'm gonna try that. Alright, well, as I was walking there, guy stopped. He was a pastor at a ministry in that little town that I was walking through. I don't even think I got the name of the town, but he stopped and he asked me if I needed anything. I said, well, I could use a couple things of food if you got anything. And so he took me back to the church, let me go through their food bank. But then he said, well, let me give you a ride over to Weimar. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm at the Love's truck stop in Weimar. I'm going to try and find a place to sleep. We're back in that part of the country where there's not a whole lot of cover around. Finding a place to sleep that night was tricky. If you want to see that, you can head on over to Patreon and pay $5. You can see all the extra scenes, such as me trying to find a place to sleep in this desolate wasteland. Alright, we're on a weird curve here, so I'm not sure this is the best place to be, but I don't think there's a better spot, so. Well, not a whole lot of luck so far. It's been about an hour. Thinking about maybe going into the McDonald's for a little bit, maybe come out and hitchhike again for a little bit later in the day, and then just kind of head out. Kind of already there in my mind, but I don't know, give it a few more minutes. I gave it very few more minutes because I had already basically made up my mind, and so I did start walking, and it's about like 2 or 3 hours later. Well, so the thing is, this is a fantastic place to set up camp, except for the fact that I've got a house looking right at me right there. If I can get back in the woods a little bit, might be fine. So I did set up camp in those woods, and the next morning I ended up kind of regretting it. Sometimes you wake up and you just think like, why did I sleep here? I feel very exposed. I need to get out of here quick. Several hours of walking later. Well, I'm out here. Yeah, I guess I didn't really film anything. My battery's dying, so I didn't film anything. But I made it to the next town. There's a pilot over there. There's stuff around. I've been sitting here at this on-ramp for a while now. And I guess I just need to get comfortable and like just stick it out for a couple days, you know? Possibly. I mean, you know, it could be the next car that comes along, but it could be a couple days as well. On the plus side, I do get to practice my harmonica. Alright, well, here's my dilemma right now. It's pretty dark, but not that dark, and I'm just kind of wondering if it might be better to go up against this wall over here. This is like a motel, but there's no windows or anything on this side of the motel. Thing is, like, it's going to be different in the morning. I could also just set up like right here, but the ground's really uneven. I don't necessarily like that idea. I decided to set up next to the building. I feel like my tent is just gonna blow away at some point. Alright, well, I was awoken this morning by the sound of rain hitting my tent. I knew it was gonna rain today, but I thought it would be later in the evening. That was just a little bit ago at like 9:30, so it's supposed to rain basically the rest of the day, probably stopping around midnight, so we'll see. So I spent the next couple of hours cowering in fear of a little bit of water. So basically, I mean, I went into the pilot to wait out the rain, and then several hours later, I'm like, it hasn't rained. So I feel like I'm being tricked or something. Like, they're doing this on purpose. They're making the forecast say it's gonna rain, and then it just doesn't rain. I mean, it still could rain. It probably will now that I'm outside. What did I fucking tell you? Yeah, well, the rain didn't last, but there's also nobody stopping. I don't know. It's hard not to feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I know it's just random chance, you know. I think the next week is just not going to be very fun. I decided to set it by this tree and just chill for a minute, and then and now it's raining again. This is what I'm doing with my life. On the plus side, this tree is pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's just a tree, but I can also hear an owl pretty clearly. I don't know where it is exactly, but there's definitely an owl up there somewhere. Anyway, it's starting to get dark, so I should probably set up a tent. Alright, well, I got out of that little town, and now I am in that place that I keep forgetting the name of, but it's that town right before you hit San Antonio, where there is also a good turn north to get to Austin. Specifically where I am right now, it's just on some land near the truck stop, where I will potentially be sleeping tonight. So I haven't eaten anything in a while now. I finished all the food that I had stored in my backpack. I'm out of money. I have $1.58 in loose change, which is not enough to buy anything, as it turns out. Like, nothing. Nothing at the gas station anyway was less than like $2. So, getting a little desperate now. I haven't eaten anything today at all, except for like some sauce. Like, just went up and got some honey mustard sauce from Arby's. It's at the truck stop. So that's all my calories that I've had today. You know, in the morning I think I'll probably try and do some, like, look in the dumpsters. I mean, I looked just now, there wasn't really much there, nothing I could eat anyway, and then I should probably go ahead and busk. If not now, when? And in the morning I am going to head a little bit east to get to the highway that goes north to Austin. Next town is like 12 miles away, so I'll probably just walk that. And then when I get there, that'll be on the interstate that goes straight to Austin. So should be able to hitchhike from there. One hungry, restless night later. Alright, so I got up this morning. I made my way over to this truck stop and I immediately started busking. I needed to eat. I didn't eat anything yesterday, and it was my stomach was feeling very bad. My legs were feeling weak and everything. So I got out there, started busking, put my hat on the floor, had a little sign, and I got my harmonica out, and I was very nervous. This is really the sort of thing that I hate doing. Drawing attention to myself, you know. I'm very shy. I'm not a outgoing person like that, so it was very difficult. And the nerves got to me in terms of my playing as well. I was not playing very well. I was fucking everything up. I couldn't keep the holes straight. Like, kept accidentally drifting into a different hole or accidentally hitting two at once. It sucked. One thing that was interesting though is that I did end up singing a little bit of Man of Constant Sorrow, because that's kind of the one I've been practicing the most, and that's the song that I know the best. And that actually went better than anything else I played. I'm way more confident in my singing than I am in my harmonica playing, and even though it's actually even harder to sing with the nerves than it is to play the harmonica, it actually gave me a little bit of confidence. I think I actually started playing a little better after that, so that was interesting. I got almost no money out of it. I got $3, but that $3 is better than nothing. I ended up buying 2 packets of Pop-Tarts, and then I had enough left over to get a chicken slider from Arby's. So that was actually pretty decent. Oh yeah, and then when I first got there, I was going to get some cardboard out of the dumpster, right? And I saw a whole unopened package of American cheese. It's like individual sliced American cheese. So I grabbed that. I'll be eating that later. It might be, I doubt it's expired. It's fucking plastic. It's not real food, so. But it'll fill my stomach up at the very least. So now it's time to get my ass on the road. So I'm gonna walk up to the other highway that goes directly to Austin. It's like 12 miles or something, not that far. I can make that pretty easily. Tonight is New Year's. Today's New Year's Eve. So, hooray, I guess. As usual with the holidays, I'm just not going to be doing anything to celebrate because I can't. One of the big takeaways from the whole busking experience here was that I just need to do this more often to get the nerves out of me. Like, even if I don't need money, I should probably go out and busk just to get some practice in. So with that, I set off. Honestly, not really sure why, but I just didn't really get any footage of the walk over there. So this was the next thing I filmed, which was a couple days later. Update, I guess. I slept in like a kind of a area off to the side of a field last night. And then in the morning, I've just been walking. I looked in a dumpster and I found some cupcakes, like what are they called? Like Hostess cupcakes. So that's awesome. And then I looked in my bag when I woke up. I was putting all my stuff away. I was actually looking for my my little plastic water bottle that goes in here, which I think I must have just dropped somewhere. That's no huge loss, but whatever. But instead of that, I found another can of the spaghetti and beefaroni. Sorry, my brain's not working very well. That's fine. But apparently I just had another can of beefaroni in there and just forgot about it. So could have used that a couple days ago, but in a way I'm glad I didn't, because that made me go and busk, which is something that I needed to get out of the way. So anyway, right now After walking for quite a ways, I'm getting pretty close to New Brunswick. What is it? New Brunsfield, something like that. I-35, and should be able to get pretty much all the way there today. And I did get all the way there, but night was fast approaching. Now the question is, where do I sleep tonight? Well, there really isn't a good place to set up right now, so I'm just at this little pile of rubble. It doesn't look like it belongs to any of the houses around here, because there's a fence between this and the next house. That's over on the other side of this pile. But there's still just no cover. So I'm kind of thinking what I might do is just like lay down over here. It's just like a little pile there. Maybe I'll cut some tall grass and put it over top of me. And I won't set up the tent. I'll just put down the camping pad and the sleeping bag. One rocky night later. Alright, it's morning. I'm heading out immediately. It's not the sort of place you want to stick around. Any of these people around here could call the cops or come out with a gun or whatever. But yeah. And I really didn't have to walk for long before I had a sudden stroke of good luck. I've made it to Austin. I have no battery left, so this is going to be a short one, but I got a ride. I wasn't even hitchhiking. I was just walking up to that shopping center, and that guy stopped for me and said, hey, do you need a ride? I said, sure. I'm just going up to the shopping center. We got to talking. I said, I'm going to Austin. He said, well, I can give you a ride to Austin if you need it. And I was like, well, I had other plans in this area first, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's go to Austin. So now I'm in Austin. This has caused a couple of problems because now I don't have any money, but he did buy me some food. So in a way I got to kind of treat this like I'm out in the desert or something, because I don't know if it's even possible to get money in here. There's so many other homeless people that the market's a little saturated, you know, for beggars. So I might just have to see what I came to see and then get the fuck out of here. And that's what you'll be seeing when we pick up on the next episode. So in the meantime, hit the like button, check out all the socials in the description, and I'll see you next time.